You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in. All right, you guys, man. So let's get right into this. And I want to talk about this situation with Chad Ochocinco, Shannon Sharpe, and Camron, man. As Cam don't came out and dropped one on everybody. And a lot of people are going off on the reactions. A lot of mixed reactions about this. Some people upset with Cam for putting this out here to the public. Some people said, hey, man, why you ain't just hit Shannon behind the scenes and let him know what's up? I'm seeing a lot of people react in different ways. And by the way, y'all smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Salute to everybody who support what we do. And if y'all want to support the channel, y'all can scan the QR code and hit that Cash App, or you can click the links that's pinned at the top of the comments, Cash App or the PayPal. But let's get right into it, man. So Cam, like I said, he came out basically and went in on the situation as far as, Shannon Sharpe. We all remember when Shannon Sharpe was going through his situation with the accusations from that girl. That girl came out. She made some accusations against Shannon Sharpe, said Shannon Sharpe did some things. She came out, was dropping some recordings. A lot of people just thought that, look, she basically, jammed dude up, But you had to blame it on Shannon because Shannon the one went after her in the gym. He should have never went messing with that type of shorty in the gym. He should have already been on the game. And then, Shannon didn't have no common sense to know, hey, man, this may end up a certain way. But anyway, she must have had enough to get all that money out of Shannon, right? Which was enough money to pray basically in Shannon. We heard there was rumors that it was a $23 million settlement in that thing, man. So Shannon will lose a lot of money. You understand what I'm saying? So, and at that time, it was more different accusations that was popping up, more different type of women that they were saying that had allegations against Shannon. It was just a few things that kept popping up right around there. So it looked like it was the end. Shannon had lost some of his endorsements that were going up the screen and stuff like that. And so, recently, I think Shay Sharpe and them had an episode where Ocho was telling them, yeah, I'm always gonna ride with you. I'm always gonna rock with you. I'm always gonna roll with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be here through it all. Well, I don't know if this was competition through podcasts or what. But Killer came out and said, man, look, man, I don't know what his intentions was. But Ocho, he hit me, man, during that time, trying to see what these numbers is over here, if he can get on. You know what I'm saying? He basically told Shay Sharpe that a lot of people was counting him out. He said he happy that Shay Sharpe bounced back because that was going to be disastrous what was going on with Shannon Sharpe. But he was just a lot of people thought that he was up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man, that don't send ripple waves around the internet. Now everybody talking, a lot of people got different commentary. Some people saying Cam was being messy. Some people saying Cam, he jumping on an opportunity to try to, put a rift between them. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a podcast. They all in competition. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, some people saying. Some people saying, hey, man, he had to expose Ocho because Ocho was up there capping. You know what I'm saying? Is what some people were saying. I was reading the comments in these videos people were doing. You know what I'm saying? Just to get a gist of what the people's talking about, what they thinking about in the aftermath of that situation, right? And so, Cam, him putting that out there, man, wow, bro. This could have a crazy effect on these two, man. And I'm talking, when I say a crazy effect, this could have one of them effects, you guys, where it don't end well as far as the trust, the friendship. You know what I'm saying? Now that he don't put Shannon Sharpe onto this type of game, Shannon may question Ocho and may think about, how it's going to play. And he said that wasn't the only one. So that must have been other people who were doing features with him or guests, whatever with him, was shopping around yo, let me go see, man. This nigga ready to fall off, bro. He was ready to jump off that ship. But people got to understand, here's a certain thing I'm going to say. When them sponsors start going, man, that money start going, man. Because you never know how that's going to lean with people. And people think about their own brands, their own reputations. Yeah, they trying to stand with you, but they ain't trying to get their whole career torpedoed with you. But at the same time, Shannon Sharpe got to think about, Ocho got to think about, bro, Shannon put you on. Ocho wasn't popping. Let's just think about it like this. Wasn't nobody going to be looking for Ocho on that tip, in my opinion, if Shannon didn't put him in that position. You know what I'm saying? Because realistically, a lot of people think Shannon carried the show and Ocho, he add was whatever's lacked. You know what I'm saying? He add with his, just his comedic side, or just, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Because some people think he's not a good analyst on his own. He's not a good guy to break down stuff if it ain't football on his own. You know what I mean? A lot of times he'll be disagreeing, and that's why they say that Shay Sharpe be bringing on other people like basketball players and other stuff to talk about the other sports outside of football. You know what I mean? And so, Ocho, man, he's a funny cat, man. Funny cat, bro. I don't know him personally. I don't know what the intention is or was, or we haven't even heard his side. I'm pretty sure that he may or may not speak out about this, you know what I'm saying, to give his side to people, because, maybe he don't want to look a certain way in front of everybody and have people saying that, hey, man, you try to slime Unc out or snake Unc out or something like that, you know what I'm saying? He probably don't want this on his name, when you really think about it. So, I look at it as one of them situations where it can go either way with these dudes, you know what I'm saying? Shay Sharpe can shake it off and be like, yeah, I understand, shit, I was going through it, you know what I'm saying? And it could have destroyed. Because we do have to put this into perspective. This was all because of Shannon Sharpe's decision that this thing could have went bad. All because of Shannon Sharpe's decision that this thing could have went all the way bad. So this would have all been Shannon Sharpe's fault. Regardless, he would have been sacrificing everything based off of his bad decisions. So it would have been his fault that the whole thing got sent straight to hell. You know what I'm saying? And, Ocho, he probably depending on whatever he getting over there on the regular to keep, moving. And he probably feel like, damn, I built up a good name in the space right now. If this shit go down, damn, you know what I'm saying? Let me see, So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was strategic by Cam putting that out. Like, if they going after those guys, because, it's been like a little sneak things with the podcast shows and stuff like that. It's funny, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if Cam did it for content, you know what I'm saying? I like Killer, though. I like Cam. I like his, I like their whole get up over there. I like what they doing, him and Mason Beth. I like what they doing, man. AMA $E. I think they got something good going on over there. I think they do a good job with the show, period. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And then Cam got his own, spinoff. You know what I'm saying? That's a great show, too. Cam, like I said before, he relevant. You know what I mean? When you could be a rapper and then be out of the game like that, but you still rap from time to time, but still be relevant in this era. Yeah, man. And that's what the rappers are doing. They still be keeping themselves relevant through these podcasts, because, a lot of people, they start watching regular TV. They start paying attention to the podcast shows now. So now these are podcast wars and stuff like that, right? So, now it does have a back feeling on the podcasters who was coming on YouTube originally, because now you got these celebrities coming down. They got big names. They automatically get a big following, and they drowning out the other people. That's why you truly got to be great to be able to do numbers on a non-celebrity status. You coming on a non-celebrity status and you can do numbers, you know what I'm saying, equal to or as big as these celebrities that got these machines backing them. Now you got to be great coming out here to be able to survive in this era or build up in this era. It's not like it was where it was an even playing field, But then once you get on those levels, these guys can be battling for, podcast funds through the sponsorship deals and stuff like that. It may depend on your numbers, your views, all that stuff, how them deals work out. So, people, you can look at it as competition too between these guys. You know what I'm saying? I think that's an aspect of it too, is, competition between the parties. You feel me? So, yeah, that's just how I see it panning out, man. That's how I see it all, being broken down. But hopefully Unc and Ocho don't fall out over this shit. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, Unc might feel away. He might say, hey, man, that shit was fucked up, man, what you did, bruh. It was fucked up what you did, dog. You shouldn't have did that, bruh. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up what you did. You shouldn't have did that, though. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't have did that, though. You feel me? Probably gonna say that. You know what I mean? So you gotta think about that, man. That's one of them real things you gotta really think about, man, is, how is that gonna affect Shannon? Because Shannon can look at it like, nigga, I put you on, nigga. And now something go down with me, you ready to jump ship? You ready to just roll on a nigga like that? But then you up here telling everybody you gonna ride with a nigga the whole time. Shannon Sharpe may feel a way about that. So we're gonna have to see. It's gonna be fireworks to see how if they even touch that subject. You know what I'm saying? So they might touch it privately and don't even say nothing publicly. Or Shannon Sharpe might bring that shit up publicly since, Cam said something publicly. Or Ocho might bring it up publicly. I doubt that would be the case. I think they'll talk. I think they probably already talked about this shit behind the scenes. Now, who knows what Unc reaction was, behind the scenes. But, things have been, thrown at Shannon Sharpe too. Allegations that he have said he don't F with certain people, that he smile and talk about in the public in a certain good way. But, that dude, I forget what that dude's name is, Hollywood, that's his name. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, he was dropping some hints online for a while. And then suddenly he got quiet, so I don't know if he got a, I don't know if he, if he got a check or what. You know what I mean? Because he suddenly got real quiet. You don't hear nothing from Hollywood no more. But, yeah, man, y'all definitely got to let me know what y'all feeling, man. But, again, that amount of money that they was reporting that Shannon lost, man, that's a lot of cheese, man. That's probably like, you never know how much money he getting from those right now. That was more, because that was more money they reported he had to pay that girl than he made his entire NFL career. So let's say that you got a $30 million deal right now, and you living off this money right now, and then you got to pay this girl $23 million, and then we never know what else you got, that you might have to pay off, or things you had going on that you wasn't even expecting this type of a bill on your docket. Now it's going to get real sinister now. That money going to be looking real crazy. Then you got to split that shit with Ocho, however much you pay Ocho. And then that money might not be there. You losing sponsors. You got to worry about ad revenue, just making that. The money ain't going to be the same. You going to need them sponsors, that big money to come in and really make up. Yeah, man, that shit can look real crazy, bro. Real spooky, man. Y'all definitely let me know what y'all think, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really don't know how it's going to pan out. I don't know how Shannon going to react. You know what I'm saying? I know Shannon big on loyalty. He always talked about, Stephen A held me down. Stephen A held me down. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A was, remember everybody was like Stephen A was snaking him? He was saying Stephen A was holding him down and showing him love and shit. That's what he was saying. The whole time. You know what I mean? And so, so he sounded like he was big on, loyalty and stuff like that. So, you never know, man. We're going to find out, though. We damn sure going to find out. If they continue to do the show together for years to come, do you know it was all good? If Ocho is not there after the next 2 or 3, 4 months, then we already know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Or whenever his contract run out, because I don't know what his contract look like. I don't know how they got it set up over there. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. We got to look at how they potentially got their whole contract situation set up. That's another thing. So, yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all thinking, what y'all feeling on this, man. You know what I'm saying? Small thing to a giant, man. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy, man. Stand on business with this thing, dog. Gone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all click those links below. Subscribe to the podcast show. You can donate support to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, or buy that weight loss formula. All the links are below. Peace.